Live Combat Observation Report. General Elianis Ardonjor's Imperial War College. Strategic Observer aboard Fresh Command Vessel Dominion's Edge. Real-time transmission to War College Command. Transmission beginning. Combat status active. Command, this is General Elianis reporting live from the Fresh Dreadnought Dominion's Edge. By the sacred wings of Ardonjorus, I am witnessing something that will rewrite every tactical manual in the galaxy. The human fleet has just entered weapons range, and their approach defies all conventional military doctrine. General Fresh Vorthak stands beside me, his shell rippling with what I can only describe as amused confidence. "Observe, honored Elianis," he chittered just moments ago. "The humans have finally broken. They approach with a rabble of mismatched vessels. I have served our people for 3 centuries, analyzed 43 different species' military doctrines, and I can tell you that nothing in my experience explains what I'm seeing. The human formation is chaotic, civilian vessels mixed with military craft, no clear command structure visible, no coherent battle line. Wait. They're launching something. Boarding pods? Thousands of them, streaming from every vessel in their makeshift armada. General Fresh Vorthak is actually laughing now, that rapid clicking sound of fresh amusement echoing through the command center. "They're going to board us with primitive assault pods," he said. "Their desperation knows no bounds." The Fresh Point defense systems are opening fire now. The space between our fleets is lighting up like a stellar nursery, millions of energy bolts reaching out to vaporize the incoming pods. I can see explosions throughout the human formation, hundreds of pods being destroyed, their occupants dying in silent flashes of superheated gas. But, by Ardonjorus, there are so many. For every pod destroyed, 10 more press forward. The humans are accepting catastrophic losses just to... Wait. Something's wrong. The surviving pods, their readings don't make sense. They should be vaporized by now, but their hulls are glowing cherry red and somehow remaining intact. The energy that should be destroying them is being absorbed? Redistributed? First pod impact on our hull. The sound reverberated through the entire superstructure like a war drum. Then another. The Dominion's Edge is shuddering under repeated impacts. Security Chief Fresh Vorthak's voice just crackled through the comm. "General Fresh Vorthak, the humans are cutting through our hull plating, but they're not using plasma torches or molecular disruptors. They're using blade weapons." General Fresh Vorthak's amusement has died. His shell has gone pale. I can hear it now, a rhythmic pounding echoing through the ship's corridors. Metal striking metal. Something primitive and terrifying working its way through the most advanced armor the Fresh Imperium can produce. The bridge blast doors just buckled. Another impact. The reinforced titanium is actually bending. This is impossible. Those doors can withstand direct plasma cannon strikes. Third impact. Fourth, the door is failing. The blast door just exploded inward. Command, what I'm seeing defies every law of modern warfare. A human warrior stands in the breach, and I use the term warrior with the full respect my species reserves for true fighters. 8 feet tall in his armor, nearly my own height, moving with the fluid grace of a born predator. The armor itself is a work of art and engineering, scarred and battle-worn but drinking in the light of fresh energy weapons, like my own scales absorb flame. But the sword, by Ardonjorus, the sword, 2 meters of gleaming metal that hums with barely contained energy, not primitive at all. This is ancient technique married to cutting-edge technology, and the result is beautiful and terrible. General Fresh Vorthak has drawn his personal plasma rifle, a weapon that can melt through starship armor. He's firing now. Direct hit center mass on the human warrior. The energy bolt just dispersed, scattered across that impossible armor like water off my wings. The human is moving. I've watched Jorfa aerial combat masters in full flight, seen the lightning-fast strikes that make our species legendary warriors. This human moves faster. Not just physically, though his speed is impressive, but with a tactical precision that speaks of absolute mastery. Security Chief Fres Votak is raising his rifle. The human's blade is already in motion, one perfect arc. I can see the energy field trailing behind the sword like liquid starlight. Fres Votak's weapon, along with the appendages holding it, just fell to the deck in a spray of... Two more Fres officers moving to flank. The human pivots without looking, his left hand producing what appears to be an ancient projectile weapon. 2 shots. The bullets are moving slowly enough that I can actually track them. They pass through the officer's personal shield generators as if they weren't there and drop both guards instantly. Now I understand. The shields are calibrated for high-velocity energy weapons and fast-moving projectiles. Bullets traveling at precisely the right velocity. More humans are pouring through the breach now. Different weapons. Some carry what look like ancient maces and warhammers. Others wield curved blades I don't recognize. All of them move with the same terrifying precision, the same absolute confidence. The bridge crew is attempting to resist. Plasma rifles firing, energy fields crackling, the standard Fres defensive formations I've studied extensively. None of it matters. The humans flow through Fres defenses like water through a broken dam, their primitive weapons cutting through energy barriers and advanced armor as if they were ceremonial decoration. The lead human, the one with the great sword, has reached General Fres Vorthak's position. The general is brave, I'll grant him that. He's drawn his ceremonial combat blade, the curved energy weapon that marks his rank and station. It's a beautiful piece of technology, capable of cutting through most known materials. The human sword met the Fres energy blade. There was a flash of light, a sound like tearing metal, and General Fres Vorthak's weapon simply ceased to exist. The energy matrix collapsed. The handle fell from his nerveless appendages, and the most decorated Fres commander I've ever met stood defenseless before an opponent wielding what he had dismissed as a primitive weapon. "Surrender your ship," the human commanded, his voice carrying absolute authority even through his helmet's vocal distorters. "Or I will take it from your corpses." General Fres Vorthak, the same commander who has won 17 major engagements against 6 different species, slowly raised his appendages in surrender. The bridge is secure. The entire action lasted less than 4 minutes, from first impact to complete Fres capitulation. Reports are flooding in from throughout the ship, similar scenes playing out in every section. Human boarding parties moving through the vessel with mechanical efficiency, their primitive weapons rendering centuries of Fres military advancement obsolete. Command, I need you to understand what I'm witnessing here. This isn't just a tactical defeat. It's a fundamental paradigm shift. The humans haven't just beaten the Fres, they've obsoleted everything we thought we knew about modern warfare. The lead human is removing his helmet now. A male, scarred face marked by what looked like ritual combat wounds, though in his case I suspect they were earned rather than ceremonial. His eyes. There's something in those alien features that I recognize. The cold calculation of a true warrior, tempered by something else. Something that makes him far more dangerous than mere martial skill. "You're George Aken," he said, looking directly at me. His identification is accurate, impressive, intelligence gathering. "Military observer, General Elionis of the Ardonjoris Imperial War College," I replied, extending my wings in a gesture of respect between warriors. "I came here to study Fres tactical doctrine." His expression, and I'm still learning to read human facial communication, seemed almost sympathetic. "Well, General, I hope you learned something useful, because everything you thought you knew about warfare just changed." He's correct. Everything has changed. Status update, combat phase complete. The human operation is transitioning to occupation and prisoner processing. Their efficiency is remarkable. No wasted motion, no unnecessary brutality. These are professional soldiers executing a carefully planned operation, not barbarians run amok. I'm being escorted to a secure area along with the other prisoners. The human treating me, the same warrior who led the bridge assault, has been surprisingly courteous. Professional respect between soldiers, I believe. Commander Dylan Clarke, he introduced himself as we walked. 117th Malay Marine Battalion. I understand you're here as an observer rather than a combatant? I confirmed my status and he nodded. Good. Then you'll be interested in what comes next. We're not here to destroy the Fress fleet. We're here to capture it. Every ship we take is another transport for civilian evacuation, another vessel to protect the innocent. The strategic implications are staggering. The humans aren't just winning battles, they're building a fleet using their enemy's own resources. Tactical analysis, Day 1, post-engagement. I have been granted observer status within the human command structure. What I see here challenges every assumption about military organization I've held for 3 centuries. Commander Clarke explained their doctrine over what humans call coffee, a stimulant beverage that I find surprisingly palatable. The Fress prepared for our best, he said. They studied our most advanced weapons, our most sophisticated tactics, our most powerful ships. So we gave them our oldest weapons, our simplest tactics, and our most desperate warriors. The weapons themselves are a masterpiece of applied psychology. Yes, the swords and other melee weapons are enhanced with modern technology, energy fields for cutting power, material science for durability, targeting systems for precision, but the true genius lies in the psychological impact. Energy shields, plasma armor, particle barriers, Clarke continued. Every defensive system in the galaxy is designed around stopping energy weapons, but a sword, a mace, a warhammer, those work on principles so basic that most species forgot to defend against them. I asked about the projectile weapons, those impossibly slow bullets that penetrated fresh shielding. Kinetic barriers are calibrated for high-velocity impacts, he explained. Missiles, railgun slugs, particle beams. Fire a bullet at just under the threshold velocity, and most personal shields treat it as debris and let it pass right through. It's genius. Terrifying, brilliant genius. But the weapons are only part of the equation. Operational assessment, Day 2. Today I witnessed something that shook me to my core. A human memorial service for their fallen. The casualties from this operation were not insignificant. Thousands of human warriors died just getting their boarding pods to the Fress vessels. Thousands more fell in the close-quarters combat that followed. By any conventional metric, this should be considered a costly victory. The humans do not see it that way. Commander Clarke read the names of every fallen warrior, not ranks and serial numbers, names. Personal histories, the families they left behind, the dreams they would never fulfill. Each death was acknowledged, honored, and remembered. This is why we win, Clarke said to me afterward, noting my obvious confusion. Every species in the galaxy treats soldiers as expendable resources, acceptable losses, statistical probabilities. We treat them as irreplaceable individuals, whose sacrifice demands that we be worthy of it. I'm beginning to understand why the Fress lost. They were fighting a military force. The humans were fighting for something far more powerful, for each other. Strategic implications, Day 3. Reports are flooding in from across Fress space. Coordinated attacks using identical tactics, each one successful, each one resulting in the capture of Fress vessels and the liberation of besieged worlds. The Fress military, the most advanced fighting force in the galaxy, has been effectively neutralized in a matter of days. The humans call it Liberation Day. The scope of coordination required to execute simultaneous operations across hundreds of star systems should have been impossible without detection. Yet somehow, they achieved complete tactical surprise. Commander Clarke showed me tactical footage from other operations. The same basic strategy, boarding actions with enhanced melee weapons, but adapted to local conditions. Vacuum-rated combat armor for asteroid bases, aquatic modifications for underwater facilities, each force equipped specifically for their target environment, but all using the same fundamental approach. We spent 2 years preparing this, Clarke admitted. Every human world contributed ships, volunteers, resources. We stripped our defenses bare to make this work. One shot to end the war. One shot. They bet everything on a single coordinated offensive using weapons their enemies would never expect, and it worked. Final assessment, preparing for departure. I am returning to Jorfa space tomorrow with my report. The humans have provided me with complete tactical documentation of their operations, what they call professional courtesy between warriors. I suspect this openness is itself a form of psychological warfare. They want other species to know what they are capable of. General Fresvorthak, now a prisoner awaiting exchange, spoke with me before his transport departed. His words will haunt me. Tell your superiors that the humans have not just changed tactics, they have changed the very nature of warfare itself, and anyone who underestimates them will share our fate. The humans are not stopping with the Fres defeat. They speak of sanctuary zones, where any species can find refuge from aggression. They're building something new, not an empire, but a protectorate, a galaxy where the strong defend the weak rather than prey upon them. It's a noble goal. It's also terrifying for any species that might find itself on the wrong side of human moral judgment. Personal message to War College Command, priority auto-response. Honored superiors, I write this final entry not as an official report but as a personal warning from one warrior to another. The Jorfolkane have always prided ourselves on being the greatest warriors in the galaxy. Our aerial combat techniques, our mastery of flame and talon, our cultural dedication to martial excellence, these have made us legends. We may need to reconsider that assessment. The humans do not fight like warriors. They fight like something far more dangerous. They fight like protectors. And there is no force in the universe more deadly than someone fighting to protect those they love. I have watched Commander Clarke and his Marines operate. They move with the precision of our finest aerial aces, strike with the power of our ancient flame wielders, and plan with the strategic brilliance of our greatest generals. But underneath all that skill lies something that sets them apart from every other military force I have studied. They refuse to abandon anyone. Every human civilian evacuation, every prisoner exchange, every mercy mission, they will fight impossible odds to save people they have never met. This is not weakness, as some might assume. This is their greatest strength. Because when you know that your comrades will die rather than leave you behind, you fight with a ferocity that no tactical doctrine can instill. The age of energy weapons and shield technology as the dominant paradigm of warfare is over. The humans have ushered in something new, an age where the warrior's heart matters more than the warrior's tools. Pray that the Jorfolkane are wise enough to seek alliance with humanity rather than conflict, because if we choose to fight them, we will not face mere soldiers. We will face the Malay Marines, and they have already proven that swords can defeat starships. Everything has changed. We can either change with it or share the fate of the Fres. End transmission, General Elianis. Arden Jurais Imperial War College Personal Authority Code, Flamewing 7 Distribution, War College Command, Only Classification, Species Survival Priority. Many thanks to my channel members and Pathfinders. You all make these videos possible. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Video shares, memberships, and super thanks help the channel grow as well, so feel free to partner with this channel in that way as we grow. With that all said, thank you again for listening to the story, and thank you for your time. On the left side of your screen are some videos I think you might be interested in. I hope to see you in the next one.